Well, I just wanted to talk for a few moments about new developments at the college, because as a result of talking to students who are inquiring about studying with us and students who are here at the college, we've been hearing what you might describe almost as a new voice coming from the students at the college, which has a challenge, but which is also very encouraging. And it is that more and more people are feeling that God is putting it in their heart to work with churches and to work for churches, but in order to reach those who are not in the church at that time, but unconnected. And so as a response to this, in this coming September 23, we are going to launch a new pathway through the degree in theology course, which will be for students who want to specialize in youth and community ministry, while at the same time they will be able to get a good grounding in the traditional aspects of theology. So it's for those who don't necessarily want to be a minister in a traditional sense, but want to be more missional in their focus. Now, to provide the expert tuition for this pathway, the college has recruited a new member of staff who should be somewhere on our screens. He's not on my screen at the moment, but I'm sure he's out there somewhere. Paul Beautyman, who is based in Dundee, who lives in Dundee. But Paul has expertise in this whole area of youth and community. And I wanted to introduce him to you. So,
thanks, Ian.
Paul, there you are.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. Paul, I wonder if you could just tell everybody who's here this evening a little bit about your background and your involvement in youth ministry training.
Okay, and thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight and for the invitation to be part of the college's work. I am a Church Scotland minister and was ordained in 1993 after a year spent with Bill Porterfield and his family in Castle Hill Church down in Ayr. So it's lovely to see Bill on screen tonight. From 1993, I worked with the Church Scotland in various ways, planned and resourced a summer missions programme, did a church planting programme in Edinburgh, in South Edinburgh, and most previously worked in Argyll Presbytery, covering the west coast of Scotland. I also worked part-time at International Christian College, and when it became Scottish School of Christian Mission, taught spiritual formation there and community audits. So I've been involved in youth ministry, supporting it, doing it in a number of rural, urban and suburban areas, even now in Dunoon. I'm not in Dundee, nothing against Dundee, but I'm living now in Dunoon.
Did I say Dundee?
You did, but that's okay.
Why did I say that? In my head, I was thinking Dunoon. That's weird. That's good. That's good. It's good that you know where you are at least. Or maybe you could tell us a little bit about the youth and community modules that you're going to teach for us at the college, and what students will be doing, and what kind of students are they for?
Okay, Ian. I should say that I now run my own business called Youth Work Journeys. I've been doing that for the last 2 or 3 years, which trains and mentors Christian youth workers. And through that time, Ian, I think there's 2 types of people that we want to be focusing on, 2 taglines: grow your own and more questions than answers. Let's deal with grow your own first. A lot of people would say to me in my work, we've advertised for people and there's no one applying for jobs, or we can't seem to get anyone to apply for us. The people that I know that have got youth workers, the majority of them seem to grow their own. And so people tend to come through, whether it's a youth project or a church, they seem to develop their own leaders. So the training that we would want to offer with the Scottish Baptist College are aimed at the folks already within. That might mean, for example, someone who's 17, 18, 19, an experienced volunteer, and they know enough to know they want to do some more in youth work. But we want to provide them with a basic theological understanding and practical skills to engage in youth ministry and community ministries. The second group we want to work with, Ian, are more questions than answers. And these people are folk who've probably done youth ministry or community ministry as a volunteer or as a staff member for a number of years, but now seem to have more questions than answers. And so the opportunity to engage in theological reflection, to look at new models, to look at some more recent thinkers. So we're probably looking at two types, folk beginning to come into some kind of work ministry with young people and communities, and those who've been doing it for a while but want to think more in depth about it.
Sounds exciting, Paul. What impact do you think it would have on people to come and study at the Scottish Baptist College and to take courses like this? What will it do for them? What difference will it make?
Thanks, Ian. I didn't see that question coming. That's a good question.
Sorry about that.
No, I would say confidence, Ian.
Yeah.
When I've been involved with teaching students or supporting folks in projects and in churches, very often people have a sense they know what they want to do, but don't have the confidence to do it. You've discussed how people can do the course online or meet face-to-face, and that's one level of confidence when people realise they're not doing this alone, and they can talk to another colleague from a different part of the country and say, oh, that's the issue I'm facing. How do you deal with that? And part of my role is not just to be an educator or a trainer, but to be a facilitator of learning. So I see Martin Hodgson lurking on the screen somewhere. Martin and I are both at the final stages of a PhD, and I'm looking at how to sustain Christian youth workers. So hopefully there's knowledge that I can bring, but also how you facilitate learning is a critical skill, and helping people engage with their context, bringing in their faith, their experience of young people, their knowledge of scripture, and say, so how do we bring that together? That rich experience takes longer than just saying, what you need to do are these three things. But that learning then is rooted in them as people. It shapes them, it forms them, so that when they face a different challenge, they're then equipped to do it rather than going, oh, but those 3 bullet points I learned in a seminar don't work anymore. So it's a cliche, I think, Ian, but the confidence you get from learning how to learn in different contexts, drawing that all together, your theology, your faith, your experience, that's what I think they would learn.